Morning, everybody. Dave Sull here at Sandhill Carbs. Doing a Farmall MD Gasoline carburetor. I know it goes into restoring tractors, and I know it's hard work, painstaking work that it needs to be done. So with every carburetor I do, I want it to look like the carburetor itself has been restored as well. Because when you go to put this on your restored tractor, you don't want a big glob of paint. I sure as hell don't. So with every restoration I do, I take the time and I mask every little thing. This is not just a rebuild. That's why I say I restore carburetors. I restore carburetors, so when you restore a tractor, you can put a restored carburetor on, and it looks like you did just as much work on the carburetor as you did the tractor. Now, what helps me with this is I've been a John Deere collector for almost 40 years. So with every tractor, I take a little extra time and I mask off every little corner and every little piece, so when the gasket surface is done, the gasket surface and the ports and passages, they don't get paint. I don't like putting the carburetor completely together and then painting it. It's not how I done any of the restorations of my tractors, and I wouldn't. Some people don't mind, but it's just not something I would do. So every little detail counts. Yeah, I know I can rebuild a carburetor, put it all together, and spray the whole thing with paint, but I don't. And sometimes some of these carburetors, they take a little longer than they need to, just because of all the little details I put into every restoration of carburetors and magnetos that I do. It's like a lot of extra BS, but that carburetor is going to be red. The gasket surface doesn't need to be, and you don't need paint down into the passages of the carburetor. So, like they say, it's all in the details. So sometimes if you wonder why a carburetor you send me takes 2 days to do versus a day, you'll see this and you'll understand why some carburetors take longer than others, just because of the time I put into them. Every carburetor, just like restoring another tractor. But it costs me a lot less money to restore carburetors than it does restoring tractors. So that's why I got into carburetors and magnetos. I can still do restoration work, and it doesn't cost me $20,000. manifold surface is done. The bowl of this carburetor is going to get done with a ceramic enamel, inside and out. Get the float assembly out of it, or the float valve out. And I do have it complete. All the gaskets, manifold gasket, float bowl gasket, all new seals. It's basically all that's really available for these carburetors, but like we always say, every little piece, like the float control arm for fuel is going to be red. That surface is going to the up here controls, so that can't be painted. This half goes in the carburetor, that can't be painted, so she's masked off. And I'm going to go through and put the little brass pieces on the lathe, turn all the hammer marks off them. I'll be getting all new Phillips thread machine screws. I will be reusing the drain for this one, because this assembly actually gets its own little drain pan under it. So when you drain the fuel, instead of running down the top of your injection pump, it drains off to the side. So that cover's been sandblasted. We'll clean her up a little bit, take out a couple of the little dents and rough edges, and then that'll be painted. Original choke disc looks good in this one. Just going to clean her up and reuse it. All the brass fittings will be polished and put in after with new gaskets, replacing the steel hardware inside the float bowl assembly for the float arm override will be replaced with stainless steel nuts instead of steel. It's all in the details. Got questions or concerns, feel free to give me a call, sandhillcarbs.com, or give me a call or look up my website at sandhillcarbs.com, or you can give me a call at 218-902-0179. Thanks everybody, have a great day.